Numbers 7 and 8 really go together here. So we are going to look at number 7. A rental company rents a luxury car at a daily rate of $42.85 plus 34 cents per mile. Write an equation to represent the cost C of renting a car in terms of driving X miles in one day. So those words, cost in terms of, tell you that you should start your equation with C equals. That's how you read that in math. The cost in terms of means C equals. And then we have to go back. What would you have to pay for it? You have to pay $42.85 just to rent it. So we're going to write $42.85 plus, so we put a plus sign, and then we have 34 cents per mile, and we have X miles. So that tells us we're going to do 0.34 times X, and that's the equation that you need to have for that problem. Then going over to number 8, if Kibwana is given a daily budget of $90, that means that 90 is how much he can spend. So that's our C value. So let's go ahead and figure this out. We have 90 plugging in for our C is equal to $42.85 plus 34 cents times X. And we are ready to solve. So I am going to subtract the $42.85 from both sides. And remember, we want to get the X by itself. And you would grab a calculator to do this problem. This is not a problem I would expect to be done in your head. So we get 90 minus 42.85 is 47.15 is equal to, these canceled, so just 0.34x. To get x by itself, I have to divide by 0.34. And I would grab a calculator to do that. And the answer I get on my calculator seems to be a very long decimal. So if you go back up here, write your answer in whole miles. So in this case, we get 138.67 something else. But if I round that up, then Kibwana would run out of money. He would be over the $90. So we are going to say that X is approximately equal to 138. So we would say that Kibwana can drive 138 miles in one day to stay under budget. And like I said, I didn't give you a whole lot of room to write, but if you could squeeze that in somewhere, that would be great. All right, moving on to number 9. The same number of guests are seated at each of 12 large tables. There are 5 guests seated at one small table. Write an equation to represent the total number of guests T in terms of, so we start with T equals the number of people X at each large table. So back here it says 12 large tables, and there are X people at each large table, so that's 12X. And then it says that there are 5 guests at one small table. So we have to add those 5 guests in. And that is the equation we needed. Now number 10 relates back to that question. So if there are 113 guests, we are going to plug that in for T. 113 is equal to 12x plus 5. We want to know how many people are at each of the tables. So we're going to subtract 5 from both sides. So that leaves us with 108 is equal to 12x, and then we divide both sides by 12 to get x by itself. 108 divided by 12 is 9. So we would say that there are 9 guests at each large table. Alright, and then numbers 11 and 12 go together. So Shania went clothes shopping at the mall, and she bought 8 pairs of shorts at the same price and a shirt that cost $23.49. Write an equation to represent the total cost, C. So we're going to have C equals, and X is each pair of shorts bought, and she bought 8 pairs of shorts, so that's 8X. And then she also bought that shirt, which was $23.49. So that's the equation for her total cost. And over on number 12, it says that she spent $124.69 total. And we want to know how much each pair of shorts cost. So we're going to plug in $124.69 for the total and set it equal to 8x plus $23.49. And then we're going to solve. I'm going to subtract $23.49 from each side. So that leaves me with 101.2 on the left and 8x on the right. So then I divide both sides by 8, and I get, on my calculator, $12.65 is equal to x. So that tells me that each pair of shorts was $12.65. And that is the end of section 2.1, solving multiple step equations.